Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to break down a business that looks simple on the surface, but is much more strategic underneath. The consignment stores. Most people see a stylish secondhand shop and assume it's just another resale store. But consignment is not just about selling used goods, it is a model built on shared upside, outsourced inventory, curated trust, and the store's ability to make someone else's property feel like desirable retail. So, the real question is this: is a consignment store simply selling secondhand items, or is it monetizing taste, space, and buyer confidence? Most people think consignment works in a very straightforward way. Someone brings in clothes, bags, furniture, or other items they no longer want. The store puts them out, and if they sell, everyone wins. It feels like a cleaner, more upscale version of a thrift store. It feels convenient for the seller and smart for the buyer. That is the surface story. But that surface view misses the fact that the store is not just accepting any items, it is deciding what deserves shelf space, what fits their brand, and what kind of secondhand inventory can actually move and make money. What is really going on is that the store is operating a curated commission platform. In many cases, it does not fully buy the inventory up front. The original owners still supply the goods and wait to see whether they sell. That means the store is monetizing something deeper than the item itself. It is monetizing filter, display, location, and trust. The cosigner is outsourcing the work of presentation and selling. The buyer is trusting the store's taste. And the store earns only if its curation turns private goods into public demand. This model works beautifully because it solves a problem for all three sides at once. The seller wants more value than donation, but less hassle than selling item by item online. The buyer wants something better than random thrift store uncertainty. And the store wants inventory without taking on all the risk of buying everything outright. That makes consignment attractive because it aligns recovery, discovery, and commission. The store becomes the middle ground between clutter and commerce, between personal ownership and retail presentation. The hidden product in a consignment store is not just the item, it is the curation, the store's layout, its staging, lighting, display, and selection all send a message to the buyer. These goods have been filtered. That matters because secondhand shopping can be exhausting when everything feels random. A good consignment store reduces that fatigue. It creates trust by editing the merchandise. In that sense, curation becomes a real economic asset. The store is not only selling a dress, a jacket, or a chair, it is selling confidence in the filter that allowed that item to be on the sales floor. This model really comes alive when we see the three stakeholders clearly. First, the cosigner wants recovery, more value back than they would get donating, and less hassle than doing the sell alone. Second, the store wants a commission, turnover, and inventory that fits its image. Third, the buyer wants quality, style, and price advantage. The same product look different to each of them. To the consigner, it is underused value. To the store, it is potential stock. To the buyer, it is a curated fund. That is why consignment is such a strong hidden business model. It lives in the space between recovery, retail, and taste. The customer journey in consignment is more layered than it looks. It begins when an owner decides an item still has value but does not want the burden of selling it directly. The store then screens the item, decides whether it fits the brand, season, quality level, and their buyer profile. If the store accepts the item is priced, displayed, and placed into a carefully staged retail environment. Then the buyer steps in, discovers it, and decides whether the value and trust feels right. If it sells, The store takes its cut and the consignors receive a payout. If it does not, the item may be discounted, returned, or cycled out. So the real journey is not owner to buyer, it is owner to filter, to floor, to sell, or rejection. The business model canvas formalizes this enterprise. Your customer segment includes your consigners, your secondhand buyers, your niche shoppers, and repeat followers of the store's brand. The value proposition is value recovery for the seller, curated quality for the buyer, and commission based revenue for the store. The channels include storefront presence, local branding, social media, and repeat shopper traffic. Your revenue streams come from commission splits and, in some models, service fees for premium placement. The key resources are your retail space, the buyer's trust, your merchandising skill, and a steady stream of strong inventory. What the business model canvas shows is that consignment is not just secondhand retail, it is a shared risk model built on curation, presentation, and sell through. Your strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat snapshot shows why this model is elegant and fragile at the same time. Its strength includes lower inventory ownership risk, boutique appeal, repeat buyer trust, and better value recovery for seller than just a donation. Its weakness include dependence on sell through, pricing tension, unsold inventory drag, and seller expectations that can be difficult to manage. Its opportunities are strong, niche specialization, online and in store hybrid links to downsizing and estate markets, and stronger brand communities. But the threats are real too. Your resale apps, inconsistent supply quality, weak foot traffic, and brand damage if the store accepts too much bad inventory. So the model works best when the store protects both its filter and its reputation. The big takeaway is that consignment stores do more than resell old goods. They transform private ownership into a curated retail opportunity. The store profit not by owning everything outright, but by filtering, staging, and selling what other people already own. This is what makes this model so interesting. The visible product is secondhand merchandise. The hidden business is curated trust, shared risk, and inventory outsourcing. So the final question is this: are buyers really paying for the item alone, or are they paying for the store's taste, confidence, and ability to make secondhand feel worth buying? Thank you.